Welcome to DayTraderSetups.com TC2000 training video series. Tonight's episode is on drawing trend lines. Many times when I try to help someone figure out where the starting point and ending point is on the phone, it's really hard to get them on the right candle and see what they're seeing. So I hope this visual helps you learn. Phone's a lot harder, so I'm going to show you how to draw a trend line. This is a weekly chart on AMBA, and I try to go through my charts periodically. I do them a lot of times. If they come into play, I'll look at the bigger picture and looking for my trend lines, and I actually will draw one here and there and just add to the process. But I've got a group that I hadn't got to lately, so we're going to work through those and draw several trend lines on several different each chart several times. This is a weekly chart, and right down in this area is a weekly trend line that I drew from way back here, which was in 2014, to right here in 2016, and it goes on across here. I color my weeklies pink and my dailies weekly and monthly pink. My dailies are purple, and then if I do anything on like hourly and 15 minutes, I make those yellow, and I delete them along the way. If you're a TC2000 user and you're a platinum user, you've got this drawing board that when you press your drawing tools icon, opens up, and if you have it on less, you won't see this. You'll just see the little numbers. Put it on more, and then you'll see the drawing boards. I use 4, 5, and 6 for my trend lines, and I just deleted everything I had on 6. I've been drawing on 5 for 2 weeks. I'm going to draw all the short-term stuff tonight. I'll be drawing on 6. Then anything I draw, like the one I'm about to here, on a weekly or a daily, I'll transfer it over to 4. I never delete 4. Trend line is always in play, ever 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. So we're about to draw one right here. We're going to take our trend line tool, and I'm going to attach it to this top candle, and I'm going to draw it over here to the top of this candle. The high is 74.95. I can hold my mouse over and I can see that I drew it. When it snapped, it went to 74.95. Sometimes you can have your other indicators on your charts that can get in the way, and they'll snap to the wrong thing. So I have to kind of double check that. And the chart I use mostly, I don't try to keep a lot of lines on it. I don't normally draw on this chart with these green lines. These are my old highs. Pink lines are old lows, because they do tend to get in the way. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to right click it, I'm going to edit, I'm going to change my color to pink. Okay, and now I'm going to move it. Right here, it just showed up right here on board number 6. I'm going to say move to board number 4. So now I've got another drawing on 4, and it'll just stay there. As I draw my trend lines, being a platinum user, I can have as many alerts as I want. This is a weekly, so I'm going to set me an alert. I'm going to have it restart every 15 minutes, and I'm going to run it for a year. If it touches it in any time that year, it'll reset itself 15 minutes later. If it touches again next week, touches again tomorrow, it's going to go off again. I don't have to reset it. So we're going to move on to the shorter time frame, and I really don't see a lot probably in here. These are some lines that are on this board number 5 up here. Then that's the reason they're yellow. I'm going to do one across the tops right here to here. Now, if this line had protruded up here, then I would have known I drew it in the wrong place. And I'm going to do some intentionally here shortly, and I'll show you. I'll set an alert on this. It's not going to be a restart, but it's going to be on 5 minutes, and it's just going to be for a month. Alright, let's move on to some other charts. Now see, you can see some of these are kind of, some I drew intraday when I was probably trying to trade it right here, trying to see where it might come down to. That's kind of out of whack now, so we just go and delete that one. Same thing here. This could have been something I drew on a 10-minute chart, and it's just there in the way. Tesla. It's kind of in play here today, actually. I'm going to go way back down here, and I'm going to put it there. There. See how they just line up? If you had a trend line that you originally drew here, this particular, it bounced here, bounced here, bounced here. It's good to know where your trend lines are, and this is why. If you're trying to trade this stock in early this particular day, right here, you see the stock come down and it's getting near that trend line. It was here, there, getting close again. So it's kind of staying in a channel there. We drew it on an hourly. If you're drawing it here, it hit it here. And I'm going to set an alert on that. Same thing we had. And it's already crossed it actually today. This morning it crossed that trend line. It had trouble all day. When it gets back to the bottom of that trend line, this is old support. Support here, support in this area, support there, here, here. Old support, new resistance. So when it comes back up into this, very likely to pull back. It may pull back a little and take off again, but depending on the time of day, it's real likely to reverse when it hits that again. You can draw another shorter term trend line across the tops of these candles here. Now if you drew it here, this is where people say, well, where did I draw it? Well, if you drew it right here, and then you see any candle protruding through it, you drew it in the wrong place. You might have drawn it here the first day, and then today it took that out, so now you're going to adjust it to here. Now we got a new alert. Set our alert. I only need this one for a week. This is pretty short term, so I set it for a week, 5 minutes later. The reason I do the 5 minutes later, occasionally something will go off, it'll hit a trend line early in the morning, drop down, wick into the trend line and bounce off. Next 15-minute bar opens, wicks down, hits the trend line again, and then goes on up. If I don't have it on an automatic reset, I don't know it hit it again. Now a lot of this, what I'm teaching, if you're not a TC2000 user, you may not be setting alerts. But since this is designed for TC2000 users, I'm just trying to show as many functions of that as I can for you. Anthem. We're going to start here. We're still on our 15-minute chart up here. We'll go from the top of this candle. If we do this one, we pierced it right here. It's still kind of okay. You could take it and adjust it to the top of this one, which is actually about where you landed there today. So see, if you had it drawn originally here, it hit it, it reset. Here's a prime example. This reset probably pulled right back through it, and you got to roll over. Today it went up, hit it, and immediately rejected it. Down it went. Had you saw it this day, you may have just adjusted this trend line while you were trading. Then you'd have had it all the way at the top this morning when it went off. So you can move one. And something else, as for a TC2000 user, if you set an alert on this trend line when it was in the lower area and it went off, and then but you reset it, and then you draw it here and you set you a new alert. When it comes back down through here, it's going to go off again, because even though you took that trend line out, it's still the way TC2000 is set up. It don't have to have the trend line on the chart to remember the alert, and it knows where that trend line is supposed to be, even though you deleted it. So a lot of times, if I draw intraday, I'm just trying to draw a little line say right here, or on a different looking chart than this one, or maybe right here. Maybe I'm watching this and I took it and I drew me a temporary line, and I went here to here. I said I want to know when this takes this out, because I'm thinking it may take it out during the day. I can draw that trend line. It's up here. I can draw the trend line, set the alert just for not a reset, just a 1 day deal, and then I can turn in and delete that trend line. It's not going to be in my way later. It's still going to set the alert off. I'm probably going to leave it there for the day, but sometimes you can, especially if you're drawing something like on a 2-minute chart or something like that. You can just go on and delete it when you draw it if you want to. I hope y'all are getting the gist of where to put these trend lines. I'm going to start here, going here. Didn't touch it here, so I don't need adjusting. Did pierce it. I'm going to leave it where it was. That appeared to be a resistance point. It hit it, it rejected it. This is why you want to reset on them. Comes up and it hits the trend line, pulls back. 15 minutes later, it's on this next candle. Goes up, hits it again, pulls back. So by resetting it, and you're looking at all kind of different charts, that alert goes off, and you're like, oh, I remember that from a minute ago. And it was 15 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago, and you look back and you say, hey, it rejected again, and now it's rejecting the open price, which is what this blue line is. You got a short right here. And it kind of confirmed it there. That lets you know. That's why you want to draw trend lines, or at least be aware of them. That lets you know that it is a highly predicted place for it to reverse. It also lets you know don't go long yet. You could have been looking at this on a shorter time frame today, but you know, you run across, let's say you're trading and you're in the trade and the alert goes off, and you hit the button to just bring the symbol up, and you get over on this chart and you see it hitting this trend line. You're like, well, I wonder what that is. All you got to do is just stretch it out and look. Go back and see where it was. Go to a bigger time frame. Like, oh, that's the tops of all these days. It can't get through there. Then you can go back to focusing on the day. I do need to look a bit further back on this, see where it's at. This was a daily going probably a long way back. Way back. This is a January cross here. You see it's had trouble. Got through it a few days ago. It's got another daily goes further back than that down here. You could actually take this spot right here and draw you a trend line. It's probably going to be the next place it comes into play. Got that. We're going to hit this same low here or here. I'm going to take that one right there. I'm going to double check. This is where it's the hardest to do. Just been focusing a little bit more. All right. And, oh, that's the wrong one. Excuse me. This one's the one we just drew. 107.30, 107.50. Let's see what that line's on. 107.50. So I got it in the right place. I need to recolor it. Edit. Gonna make it purple because I drew it on a daily chart. I'm gonna move it to board 4. So I won't delete it. And now I'm gonna set an alert on it. And since it's on a daily, I'm gonna set it out for a month. Actually, I'm going to set it for a year. I'm going to reset it on 15 minutes. If I hit this next week and bounce off of it, that's all well and good. It'll never hit the alert again, you know, if it doesn't come back down. But it may hit this line out into the future over here somewhere, you know, months from now, and it's going to be in play again. If it loses it and goes down, when it comes back up, it touches it, it's in play again. APA. Let's see, bigger time frames, been moving around a lot. This was a trend line. I might have even drawn this today. I drew it on 12/1, or no, I didn't. I don't know when I drew it. Anyway, I drew it because I was wondering. I probably did draw it today. I was kind of wondering where we were headed here. This was a trend line off the tops of the days before it broke out, and it broke above that line, and now from here to here it's coming down through here. This was resistance, okay? Old resistance, new support. So it could bounce there, it could take it completely out. We've got two lines right here. I'm going to double check my alerts are on this. I don't need them for a year. I need these for a week. So I'm just going to reset that, and I'm going to make sure I got this one set for a week. Because if it drops down below here, it may have trouble getting back through there. This thing could easily take this out and go all the way down to here. This horizontal line, I'm not sure what I drew it on. If I find one that's easy to spot, I'll tell you what it was. It was some kind of gap down, gap up, most likely. I don't trade this much. I'm going to go on past it. I'm trying to get to some things I want. Okay, here's one I can show you what I do right here. How far out I'm going to have to get. This is a gap up, gap down line. It's probably going way back. It's filled the gap now. I'm not sure how far back it did go. I don't really see a. Okay, we got a. I don't see where the gap was, but I'll draw a gap up and gap down. I'll take the close of the bar prior to the gap down, or the close of the bar prior to the gap up, and I'll take the open of the next day. And when I see that on a chart, I will put this little eclipse, which is this little yellow circle in here, and I can delete it and I'll draw another one just to show you what I'm talking about. Well, I can't delete this. I'll just bring it on over here more in view. I do this a lot too. Move it closer. Now, 15 minutes, I can see this here now. Maybe move it again if I can find it. Where out here it is, way up here. We just bring it on over even more to here. We actually want it up to here. Really doesn't matter if it touches the line or not. I'll show you what the purpose of it is. Find the other end of this thing down here somewhere. Not having much luck with that. Take it back out on an hourly. I know it's down here somewhere. There it is. Alright, I bring it way back over here now. Now, when I'm trading this, and this comes into play, I'm coming in or out of one of these lines, I'll realize that I'm in a gap, or I'm going into a gap. This looks like a very long-term, way back gap, probably on a weekly chart or something. It went way back. Not sure where to. That's what I want to know. A lot of times it's not near as big a gap here. And I just want to know I'm in the gap when I start to go in it. That little eclipse tells me what that line means. Just a thing I do. This stock is a good little trader sometimes. Get this back in focus here. And we need some trend lines on it. Bottom. If you draw it here, touched it and wicked through it, you can readjust it as you're looking through your charts. In that case, it didn't go down that far. You could have left it there. I'll leave it on a weekly. It's on a short time frame chart, a weekly reset. And then once you tell it to reset it for a week, it forgets about it after that, never sets it again. You still got the line on the chart, but it's just not going to set an alert off if it hits it. Still may be into play. Let's see how far back we go here. Alright, I'm going to go probably to a 2 hour, just so I can see more of this chart and get a trend line on the bottom. This will be a pretty big deal if it comes down and hits this. See, if you had one drawn right here today, when it came down, it hit the trend line and reversed and went back up. It's a 2 hour chart, might have been yesterday. Let me look at it. This is the line way back here. So a couple 3 days ago, it sold off real hard, hit and reversed. Had you had this trend line already drawn on your chart, you'd have been aware of that and wouldn't have been scared to take that reverse. This is the same line if you had it drawn. I'm going to redraw it now. But that line, had it been there yesterday when it sold off into the line, you'd be aware of it. And that's what trend lines are all about. You can use them on daily charts, you can use them for your long-term trades, use them for your short-term trades. We do a lot of bounce trades when we're day trading, and it's real important. Like before this was here, it was back down here somewhere, and you see that you're bouncing off of trend lines. From here to there was a trend line. So if you'd been looking at AVB selling off yesterday and you were day trading that short, and you'd just stopped and drawn you a trend line right then, you'd have been like right here. You said, where's this thing going to? You pop you a trend line here, you're back over here in focus. You were right about here, and you're like, oh, guess what? Got to the trend line, turned around. See how important that is? That's exactly what they're for. You're right here. You've taken this short. You don't have the trend line drawn, but you say, where am I headed? Draw the low there, the low here, just to give you an idea of the first resistance you may hit. And lo and behold, that's exactly where it hit. Also, if you pick this up way late and you're looking at it for a reversal, you draw your trend line in there, and there you go. When it bounces, you're not scared to take this trade. And it was a pretty nice little bounce. I'm going to reset that alert again. I'm not sure if I did it or not. All right, I'm going to do you just a couple of more. I think you should have seen enough to get the idea here. And we'll be doing a lot more training videos on the TC2000 software, but you don't have to be a TC2000 user to benefit from learning how to put indicators on charts and things of that nature. But this is primarily being set up for the TC2000 user, or for my clients that become TC2000 users, and I want them to know how to draw trend lines. I can't draw them for you. I'm going to draw one more, and we're going to call it a end here. This will be a good one. It's sold off pretty good, and I hadn't drawn a trend line on it of late. This is kind of hard to trade stock, but if you catch it just right on a day that the whole market and the sector's rallying, it could be a pretty big trade. Now, I like something like this, and the reason I do, kind of froze up here or something. I just locked up somehow. There we go. I probably clicked too many clicks at one time. I'm going to get this alert set. This trend line, if this stock opens Monday or Tuesday and either gaps down and opens right on this trend line and takes off, or I'd rather it open up here and then go down into that trend line in a bar or two. If it bounces off that trend line and wants to break back up, I'm not scared to take that trade right there, even though my other indicators, they pick up strength on different time frame charts. But if I'm coming off of this trend line, I'm not scared to try that bounce. if the market's kind of wanting to go up too. Because old resistance is what we got right here. Old resistance, once you're above it, new support. That's what it's all about. Whether it be a horizontal line, that's an old high right there. My charts calculate these automatically. I don't have to draw these lines. I've got them set up on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different levels going back, and 6 different levels on the downside going back. A 78 bar is 3 days on a 15-minute chart, but it looks back 3.5, 4.5 days, half of that period, and then it looks back 156 bars is 6 days, looks back 12 days, and so it plots these numbers in here, and you see this box over here, you see the 78H, that's a 3-day high, and the 78.39 happen to be the same. The 156 is the same. That means that that's actually also was the high for 6 days, and then it changed a little bit there, and 87.61 is going back 312 bars, so that's 12 days. So actually it double top back there somewhere, and that's why you got them there, because they'll run into these old highs. If the line wiggles up, let me find a little better presentation for that right here. This was a 3-day high, 78. It's going to be our 78 number, 125. That's 124.99. That was a high, actually probably right here. And so it's coming across here, and then when it breaks that line, that's when you see this line turn up. So I'm making new highs, new 78 bar highs. But the reason the other line continues forward, because now it's my 78.39 line. You see that they were both 124.99 in this period, and then when we made a new high, the 78 was recalculating and redrawing, but the 78.39 stayed in the same place. When you break out of a high, that's resistance, new support, and this is why you want to know where that line was. And that's why I keep these lines on these charts same way at the bottom. You can take out a low, come right back up through it. Now if this moves around here for a while and then bases for a while and starts to break down, I know I've lost my support line. Starts selling off and I get in a trade right here on the short, that line is going to be my stop, or slightly above it, just a few pennies. But I know that was resistance, and now it was resistance before. It was support, it lost it, so now it's resistance again. Thanks for watching our video. We look forward to seeing you some more on the trader setups, and the TC2000 training videos are going to continue. You can find them on our Day Trader Setup channel. You can also find it under a TC2000 playlist there as well, and then on our website at daytradersetups.com. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel and like us on Facebook.